Okay, let's just bust a massive lie right out of the gate. We hear it all the time from politicians and the news, right? They want you to believe that open borders and foreign money are some kind of zero-sum game. While today, we're ripping that assumption entirely apart, and we're doing it with cold, hard economic data. Think about it. You probably assume that massive foreign companies just steamroll local businesses. I mean, it kind of feels like common sense, doesn't it? A giant multinational drops into your neighborhood with billions in cash, and the local guys just get completely crushed and go bankrupt. It's a terrifying story. But here's the thing. It's wrong. It is completely, absolutely wrong. The data actually proves that these foreign giants make you richer. But there's a catch. Only if you aren't lazy. The reality of economics is so much more counterintuitive than those standard political talking points. These big foreign players don't just bring competition. They literally hand you a blueprint for wealth. You just have to be willing to read it. To prove this, we're looking at a wildly fascinating study from the Journal of International Business Studies. They went deep. They tracked 48 different UK manufacturing industries over 5 solid years. So we're not talking about some abstract theory here. This is verifiable, hard data that completely shatters that whole foreign invasion myth once and for all. Economists like to call this the spillover effect. It sounds super academic, right? But honestly, it's incredibly raw. It's basically this brutal phenomenon where local firms secretly level up just by watching the foreign giants. You observe their supply chains, you poach their top managers, you literally reverse engineer their technology. You adapt, or well, you die. So let's break down how this intense confidence gap actually plays out in the real world. Because when foreign firms enter a developed market, let's be real, they aren't coming to play fair. They bring overwhelmingly superior technology. And that gap between the invader and the local, it's supposed to be a total killing blow. The numbers show just how massive this gap really is. In the soap industry, foreign firms were a staggering 11 times more productive than local ones. Televisions, 6 times more productive. Even in rubber, it's almost 5 times. I mean, that is a terrifying wake-up call for literally any local CEO. But here is the secret. Local productivity only explodes when you combine 3 specific things. Number 1, physical capital, the actual machinery. Number 2, human capital. You need smart workers to figure out the competitor's tech. And number 3, the sheer terrifying threat of foreign presence. Because without that threat breathing right down your neck, you just get comfortable. You stagnate. And that brings us to the absolutely cruel reality of the market. The weak fail and the strong just get stronger. This spillover effect, it is not a charity program. The data is utterly ruthless here. It definitely does not lift all boats equally. It breaks down like this. High-capability firms, they absorb the foreign tech and just grow exponentially. They already have the pre-existing skills to study a competitor and say, I know exactly how they did that. But low-capability firms, they learn absolutely nothing. They are just too far behind to even understand what they're looking at. So they just fade into total extinction. It gets worse. If a technology gap between you and the foreign giant is just too big, your productivity actually drops. It decreases by 0.35% for every single percent that gap widens. Just think about that for a second. The wider the gap, the faster you bleed out. The foreign competition literally suffocates you because you just don't have the baseline capacity to fight back. The statistical proof for this is completely undeniable. If you don't actively invest in your own learning, foreign presence does absolutely zilch for you. Those positive spillovers only happen for the high-capability groups. The market doesn't reward you just for existing. It only rewards your capacity to learn, adapt, and frankly, steal excellence. Okay, brace yourselves, because here is the ultimate plot twist in all of this economic data. So far, we've established that smart locals steal from the foreign giants, right? That makes total sense. But the researchers didn't stop there. By analyzing both sides of the market at the exact same time, they uncovered a massive reverse effect. Get this. Foreign firms actually start learning from the local UK firms. Yes, seriously, the big, terrifying foreign giant comes in and eventually they start copying you. It turns out that competition is absolutely not a one-way street. It is a mutual theft of excellence. Think about it. The local firms step up their game just to survive. They innovate. And then the foreign firms realize, wait, we need to steal those new local innovations if we want to stay on top. Both sides are just pushing each other to their absolute limits. It's a continuous, hyper-aggressive cycle of improvement. Now, hold on. Let's put our critical thinking caps on for a minute. Their methodology isn't totally bulletproof. Even the most brilliant academic studies have their weak spots, right? We really need to look closely at how they actually measured a firm's capability to learn. So they measured learning capability using something called intangible assets. Now, this brilliantly includes patents. If you have patents, you clearly have technical skill, right? But here's the catch. They mistakenly included brand names and trademarks in that exact same metric. That is a glaring flaw. A strong brand name really only measures market dominance and pricing power. It definitely does not measure actual technological skill. So the data has a slight blur to it. Even so, the core finding undeniably holds up. So we have officially dismantled the myth, that whole narrative that foreign investment just destroys local economies. It's lazy thinking. Honestly, it's just an excuse for companies that refuse to innovate. The reality is brutal, sure, but it's also incredibly optimistic if you're actually willing to do the work. I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. Foreign capital is here. It is not going anywhere anytime soon. So the real question is, are you capable enough to steal their secrets and level up? Or are you just going to sit back and be a spectator to your own obsolescence? Think about it. Stay sharp and keep learning.